This Moshe, whom they rejected, saying, Who made you a ruler and judge, is the very one whom God sent as both ruler and ransomer by means of the angel that appeared to him in the thorn bush. This man led them out, performing miracles and signs in Egypt, at the Red Sea, and in the wilderness for 40 years. This is the Moshe who said to the people of Israel, God will raise up a prophet like me from among your brothers. This is the man who was in the assembly in the wilderness, accompanied by the angel that had spoken to him at Mount Sinai, and by our fathers, the man who was given living words to pass on to us. But our fathers did not want to obey him. On the contrary, they rejected him, and in their hearts turned to Egypt, saying to Aharon, Make us some gods to lead us, because this Moshe, who led us out of Egypt, we don't know what has become of him. That was when they made an idol in the shape of a calf and offered a sacrifice to it, and held a celebration in honor of what they had made with their own hands. So God turned away from them and gave them over to worship the stars, as has been written in the book of the prophets. People of Israel, it was not to me that you offered slaughtered animals and sacrifices for 40 years in the wilderness, nor you carried the tent of Molech and the star of your god Rephan. The idols you made so you could worship them, therefore I will send you into exile beyond Bavel. Our fathers had the tent of witness in the wilderness. It has been made, just as God who spoke to Moshe had ordered it made, according to the pattern Moshe had seen. Later on, our fathers who had received it brought it in with Yehoshua when they took the land away from the nations that God drove out before them. So it was until the days of David he enjoyed God's favor and asked if he might provide a dwelling place for the God of Yaakov. And Shlomo did build him a house. But Ha-Elyon does not live in places made by hand, as the prophet says. Heaven is my throne, says Adonai, and the earth is my footstool. What kind of house could you build for me? What kind of place could you devise for my rest? Did I myself make all these things? Stiff-necked people with uncircumcised hearts and ears, you continually oppose the Ruach HaKodesh. You do the same things your fathers did. Which of the prophets did your fathers not persecute? They killed those who told in advance about the coming of the Tzaddik, and now you become his betrayers and murderers, you, who received the Torah as having been delivered by angels, but do not keep it. On hearing this, they were cut to their hearts and ground their teeth at him. But he, full of the Ruach HaKodesh, looked up to heaven and saw God's Shekinah, with Yeshua standing at the right hand of God. Look, he exclaimed, I see heaven opened, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God. At this, they began yelling at the tops of their voices, so that they wouldn't have to hear him, and with one accord they rushed him out, threw him outside the city, and began stoning him. And the witnesses laid down their coats at the feet of a young man named Shaul. As they were stoning him, Stephen called out to God, Lord Yeshua, receive my spirit. Then he kneeled down and shouted, Lord, don't hold this sin against them. With that he died.